Thank you for joining us here at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Kevin.
I'm Melissa.
I'm Amy Eggs.
And I'm Psychic Larry, and today we are talking about The Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, the Poison Promise expansion.
We wanted to share our thoughts on the Poison Promise campaign for Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. We brought Amy and Larry on board because we've done multiple videos of Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth campaigns, but we've got to play a whole campaign with you guys. So let's give a quick overview of what it's all about.
The Poison Promise campaign is the third downloadable campaign for Journeys in Middle-earth. It requires the core set and the Spreading War expansion. Additionally, you can add the Scourges of the Waste figure pack, which includes miniatures for several of the villains, a new weapon, the short sword, and a whole new role, Beast Friend, which allows you to call animals to your aid. The campaign centers around the kingdom of Rohan and rumors of conspiracy and war. You'll make choices of which paths to follow, resulting in a branching storyline that will be different each time. Which characters can you trust? Which ones will betray you?
Well, first of all, I'm so happy that we still have content coming out years later for the Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth.
Yeah.
This is back from 2019, so this is the 4th year.
I love these games. These are so great.
This might be the last one. I'm not sure. They said that this is the last figure pack.
Melissa.
Sorry, I didn't mean to burst bubbles. I could be completely wrong.
Well, I have enjoyed it, and the nice thing is you could continue to play the campaigns over and over again.
Yeah, especially this one because of the branching story paths.
And we'll get into another reason why we want to play this campaign over again.
Yes.
So Melissa, you've done a lot of research behind the scenes on the Poison Promise campaign with what other people have done.
After we finished the campaign, I went and looked at some of the BGG forums, and people were talking about their experiences, and they had like completely different paths than what we did. So there are choices that you are making that determines your storyline and even how different characters respond to you. We had a certain character that basically betrayed us. But other people in their campaigns befriended this person and someone else was the bad guy. So it can even big swings
From
in
what
the
we've
storyline.
heard is the person that we befriended, hardly anybody else that has done this campaign has befriended this guy. So, whoopsie. We were right though.
Yeah.
We were totally right. So you guys have played the campaign, the base game campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all the expansions and have everything. We haven't gone through all the other campaigns, but I thought it was super interesting. They definitely have added a lot more to the different campaigns because obviously there's more tiles that you can put out for the journey maps, and there's all kinds of different things that expand the game. So I felt like, especially in this one, that some of the maps were really big. Like, they covered a lot of the table.
I think there was one that basically covered this entire space here of this type of table.
Yeah, we tried to start playing with our characters on the table, then they slowly kind of just moved off the table as the map kept on getting bigger, and it's like, maybe if we slide it a little bit further, we can get a few more tiles out. But it was super fun. It's all that you love in Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. Just more story and more.
Yeah, I like that the story is unique. It's different. I would personally say, if I had to rank them, I would put this on the lower stories. I liked other stories better.
The worst one?
One of them.
Well, you only played one version.
I know, that's
of
right.
This
So maybe I need to play it again with
so-
a different version. The one thing I didn't like is in this Poison Promise, there's the inn. And I don't think we can. I think we can reveal that part.
Right.
The Entwash Inn is a huge part of this game. You go back to that in a lot.
So it's one of the battle maps, so it's only one or two of the square maps, but you play multiple adventures in there. Some things change and
I would
don't.
say that to me as a detractor, I'd like every like scenario to be like
Yeah.
really, really different. I felt like, oh, we're back at the inn again, which I guess is some plus in some way. What do you think about that?
There
Amy?
was some variation to the Entwash Inn, but
Right.
there were a couple scenarios where it's like the same exact people are there, the same, like all of the
Yeah.
little tiles are the
Uh-huh.
same, and you're just going and talking to them again, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like on one hand the adventures that are more like to do something or figure something out, like I want to really love those. But
In the
I
end.
think we're just too good at it because we're like, well, we've taken 5 actions and now we know everything, and and we still have like 40 threats. So I guess we'll go see what's happening over there.
I remember in one of the scenarios we figured it out, and we were like, well, you can do that search token and look under that rug, I guess. Because
Or it's like, it can't be that easy, right?
I know.
And we're kind of psyching ourselves out
Right.
of like, there has to be some sort of twist, right?
Right? I think that also going along with that, the battle map versus like the journey maps, like you don't really know going into like we're gonna start a game tonight, you know, and we're gonna get a game night together. Like how long is this gonna take us for this one scenario? You really don't know, even if it's a battle map. You really don't know. Now you might think, oh, it might be a little bit shorter, and you might think a journey map's a little longer, and on average it usually is, but sometimes it isn't.
Is this a 30-minute session? Is it a 2-hour
I mean, there was
session?
one journey map that I think it might have taken us close to 3 hours.
just to lay out the tiles.
Right? And I will say that's another sort of like negative in my book is because the Mansions of Madness, which also is from Fantasy Flight, they've done that so well. They've said an average time for this game is going to be about this amount of time. It's going to be 1 to 2 hours. Well, great. At least it gives me something to look at. Whereas this, you don't know going into, is it going to be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Oh yeah.
After 3 hours, you're like, this was a 3-hour one.
Yeah, because we definitely got together on the evening and we'd start playing and we were like, all right, maybe we'll get through two
two
different scenarios or something. And it's like, well, never mind. We'll just finish at this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even with those sort of complaints, I mean, I know Kevin and I do really love.
The only reason we have
Lord
so
of the
much
Rings
hard critique on it is because we love it so much. I mean, we have to because we've played through almost all the campaigns multiple times, except for the Haunting of Dale, which we actually just started a new campaign with. A different game group.
Sorry,
guys.
very
Rude. Betrayed.
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I was going to say the only other disappointing thing that I felt in doing this campaign was that Kevin hadn't finished painting all of the rest of his miniatures yet.
Sorry.
So, I mean, half of them were beautifully painted and looked great, and then the other ones were...
They were just gray.
I
I
don't
painted
know.
them gray, Larry.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe they were ghosts.
Uniform color.
I did like some things about Poison and Promise, though. There's some new rules, and those rules are in the screen on the screen, so you don't have to write them down or remember. It's like this is the rule for this scenario.
Yeah, it makes them more unique too.
Yeah, I
A little
agree.
variation.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite ones, and I'm gonna try not to spoil anything, is we had to answer riddles. And that was fun, getting clues and talking about what
Right.
do we think
And it made
this answer could be.
And it connected to the story.
Yes, it wasn't just like, here's a random riddle. They wove it in.
And it wasn't even multiple choice, like usually like, hey, pick one of these 4. It was literally like, you guys commit to an answer out loud and then see what it is.
And we did get most of them.
Yes.
We did.
There
pretty
was
well.
an option if you couldn't figure out the riddle or didn't want to, you could take one of the normal tests, but that's not as fun.
I think there are some really fun memories in the whole thing. But I will say some of the side quests, and we mentioned this to you, there's some side quests that were similar in other campaigns, and we're like, oh, we know if we do this sort of thing in this game, we're gonna get a title. And if you're familiar with how the campaign or the scenarios work with Lord of the Rings, you know you're gonna get titles and other items, and we're like, oh, if I do that, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get this title, which sometimes it was worth it for us to do that because we thought it was a good title.
Yeah, because we have a lot of experience with the game and we kind of
it
enable everything, so it's throwing everything at you.
Yeah. So it seems like they cut and paste some of those side quests or some of the
search
minor
token things.
Yeah, some of
right?
the minor things.
Right.
Not some of the all the big stories are totally different, which Yeah, it was good. Other thoughts, Larry? Amy?
I really liked Larry's character. I had never
the
seen,
bear. Yes.
Yeah, I had never seen that option of you've got two different characters that you can play with and transform.
Yeah.
I thought that was
And you had a horse. We know about the horse.
Yes,
Oh
I had
my
a horse.
goodness.
It could do anything
No more
and
horse,
everything.
It was like a
Please.
unicorn horse, basically.
It was a pegacorn. It also could fly.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Bjorn and the creatures, the steeds, they come with one of the
I think
expansions.
it's Spreading the War.
Maybe.
I think it's Spreading the
Yeah.
War expansion. But it was still fun to play with those.
I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room.
We should
Yeah.
talk about the elephant, the Oliphant.
Yeah.
the
don't you
Oliphant
mean
in the room.
Right, that's what I meant.
Come on.
So we had actually some glitches throughout the campaign. There was one where there was this treasure chest sort of like floating in midair that you really couldn't do anything with. It was just there was odd things going on in the game. The very last game, it said, "This is your last game." We had to do certain things and uncover. Basically, we had to track someone, and we were doing that very well. And all of a sudden, it just stopped. Like it wouldn't let us uncover any more tiles, and then basically enemies were fighting us, and we fought all the enemies, and it just wouldn't uncover anything. So basically, we were in this loop that never ended. So we just had to end the campaign, and we felt that was very
Anticlimactic.
very anticlimactic.
Yeah, so there was some sort of glitch in our last scenario, which a lot of people haven't played because they didn't go the storyline
Right.
we did, where it didn't uncover the last bit of the journey map when we did something, so we didn't actually get what we needed to advance the story.
That was so sad. So we'll have to play it again and maybe try a different path.
And maybe they'll have fixed that
I
glitch.
did contact them, and they said they were going to try and fix the bug. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Maybe we
But-
can load back in there and finish it.
Someone saved after the
the glitch.
after the glitch, so it's partially Kevin's fault
Yeah.
for not restarting that adventure.
Definitely. We should have just shut down the computer, like, turn it off.
Go back.
I used the short sword, which was the new item that came in this figure pack, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It doesn't have a ton of hit point power though. So Amy was like, I could do 20 damage. And I'm like, well, I maxed out at 9, but it did have some interesting abilities with it. So I tried out one of the new items.
We'd highly recommend Lord of the Rings Journey to Middle-earth. There's a lot of content for it. The expansions, this new upgrade pack they're all just great with all the miniatures and other characters that are being added. So
They just need to get us a big box collection
There we go.
box so that we can fit everything in this box. Because with all the expansions,
Doesn't fit in there.
there's no way.
let us know if you've played any campaigns. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Bye!